All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. It's about 2 minutes after 10. Um, Today, what we're going to be talking about is our Event Gallery application, and it's an online sharing center that you can use to share images and videos, GIFs, things like that, output from a photo booth. One of the biggest challenges facing photo booth industry for some time now has been electronic delivery. Most people talk about text and email and so on, but basically, if you boil it all down, it just comes down to a large percentage of the output, anything other than printing, is electronic. It's a image, like a JPEG photo strip file. It's a GIF, an animation, a boomerang, or a video clip or something like that. And it's electronic, and you need to deliver it to your customer. So there's a variety of ways that you can do that. You can email it directly from the photo booth. You can text it directly from the photo booth. Those bring up, various problems, things like internet connections and so on. But they can also be a real challenge in time, because the user, the individual person, has to stop and type in their email address or type in their phone number or something, and invariably somebody will do something wrong. They'll type in their number wrong or their email address wrong, and then they don't get it, and you don't know why, and so on. One of the ways that over time people have tried to eliminate that bottleneck at the photo booth itself is to put a separate sharing station over to the side with a separate piece of software of some kind that's monitoring a folder or something and adding those images to a sharing station. But then all of that does is move the line from one place over to another, and you still have problems with errors and things where people, they type in their email address wrong, they're had a drink or two, they're, not feeling any pain, and so they go and make a mistake, and then you're gone and they still didn't get their image and various things like that. So a lot of problems associated with electronic delivery. So one of the things that Darkroom tried to do to come up with a way around that, or a better solution for electronic delivery, was with our Event Gallery product. So Event Gallery is an online sharing center. It is a website that you can tailor and fit to your situation. There are a lot of options in it. And it also allows you to let people share those images even after the event's over, after you're gone. They can still be directed to that site to do that with. So people are beginning to join. I see a few more people in. All right, so let me get, hang on one second. There we go. So I'm going to switch over to my screen and just kind of share that with you and show you how this all works. So give me 1 second. Okay. I think I got that. Does everybody see my screen with Event Gallery right here where the mouse is? Everybody see that? If you don't, raise your hand or tell me in the chat or something. Let me know what's going on. Do you see it? Can you hear me? Okay, everybody can see it. Everybody can hear me. Is it clear? All right, here we go. So this is a recent event that we did on our test site with Event Gallery, and as you can see, there are two sides, if you will, to Event Gallery, and sometimes people get a little confused with that, but it's really not complicated. Basically, there's the administration side. That's where you can change things, you can edit settings, you can delete photos, you can do a lot of things. And then there's the client side. The client side is where your customer would be directed, and that's where they would go to share images. So what you're looking at here is this is the admin side, and the big telltale way to know that it's the admin side is, first of all, you'll see options at the top, and then options here where you can add images, unpublish, publish, whatever. So there's a lot of functionality in changing this to make it look like your website, or make it look like it's yours and not necessarily a Darkroom product. Now you can see our logo up here in the top left corner, but you can change that to put your own logo in there. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, let me get down to the bottom of this event. I scroll all the way to the bottom. On the client side, let me switch over to the client side so you can see. So this is what the client side looks like. So you see our logo up here in the corner that can be changed to your own logo, or you could take it off if you wanted. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the event, then you would see where it says thanks for viewing. You can also change that to put in your own message there if you wanted to put a link to your website or something. You can also change some of the colors, make it look more brandable to your website. You can also point a direction, like if you click on this logo, you can see that it's clickable, and that would take the customer to your website or wherever you wanted them to be directed to. I'm going to go back to the admin side now. So on this admin side, you'll see a number of things. First of all, on each individual image that's been uploaded, you have several options. You can set an image as the cover. So if you wanted to upload your logo or a picture of the bride and groom or whatever you'd like to do, you can set that as the cover. And you can also rename the image if you wanted to. But that's a couple of things you can do there. There's a trash can here. You can delete an image. And then there's a download button as well, so you could download that image if you needed to. Now, over on the right-hand side, you can see here, this would be download for the entire event. This would be delete the entire event. And then you can click here to add images from a thumbnail, a thumb drive, or a file on your hard drive or something. You can add them right there. You can unpublish it, remove it, so it's still in your gallery, but it's not viewable by the public. You can unpublish it. You can share it. What this share button is, I'll show you the difference in share buttons in a minute, but what this share button does is it gives you the opportunity to send an email to your client and let them know the gallery is ready for them to view. So if you did this after the event, you could put in their email address here and the subject of the message and let them know that it's ready for them to view. Now there's two different settings abilities here. You'd see up here, this drop down says account. When you click on it, you've got settings, support, etc. These are settings that would affect the entire event gallery account, so all events. So if you clicked on settings there, you'll see things like this is, when you want to refer somebody to your own website, and click on that. You could have your Facebook link, Instagram link. These are all things that you can direct customers to your website, your Facebook, and so on. Here's where you would upload a logo. You can go on down and see a few other things you can do. Those are all settings that affect the entire account. And then you can customize by putting in a custom domain. If you want to use your own custom domain, you can do that. You can customize, for example, email. Now we have a built-in email server, so you don't have to set anything up. You can use your own email server if you would like. So if you want it to come from, yourcompany.com, you can certainly do that. If you don't, you can just use the built-in one. It makes it simple and easy. You can put the from name and the reply to in case they reply, so those come to you and look like they're coming from you. So that's various things you can do with email. There's also things you can put in here for search engine indexing and hiding menus. If you don't want them to have access to other galleries, you just want them to be limited to the one gallery for their event, you can hide the menu here where they can't get to any other galleries, various things. You can also put a watermark setting like your logo or something over the images if you wanted to do that. A little further down, you've got SMS sharing. That's if you wanted to use Twilio or something, you can put in your Twilio information to do that. I'm going to not show that too long on the screen because I don't want you to use my Twilio account. So those are all things that you can do for your particular event. Now, if you click on account, you'll have the email, password for getting into your account and so on. And you can also share a user to allow, one of your staff members, where you own the account, but they could administer the account. So you can click on here and add a user so that they can administer the account for you. Plan and billing is where you would set up your cost, how you want to pay for it. We offer a variety of plans. The basic one is $30 a month. It's 50 gigabytes of storage. No one so far has really ever peaked over 50 gigabytes. Most everybody, 50 gigabytes allows you to do a lot of events. So, most people, that's plenty. We do offer a 100 gigabyte plan and a 500 gigabyte plan if you have a lot more space that you need. But for the most part, the 30 gigabyte or the 50 gigabyte $30 a month plan is suitable for most people. If you paid for a full year in advance, you get a $60 discount. You save $60 a year by doing the full year payment there. But you can do all those kinds of things right there. This is also, of course, we want you to keep using it, but if you wanted to cancel, you could click cancel here and cancel your account as well. You can put in the credit card information that you're going to use for that, and then see a various, summary of your account and so on there. Now, gallery statistics is a really handy thing. So let's take a look at that. Let's look at this. Let me pick one here that we'll look at. Let's see what one I want to look at. Here is one that we're looking at right here. The Texas school, we did a photo booth for them and took some photos, and we had various things there. So that's the one I'm going to show you. If you look here, you see that it's been viewed 157 times. 592 images have been looked at, and 17 of them have been downloaded. Now, if you go over here a little further and you click on this link right here, you'll see a lot more information here with share rates and, where those were shared and how people downloaded them and so on. Then you can come down a little further and you can see what images they were looking at most. And then you can see which images they downloaded most. So there's a lot of information here that you can get to analyze how well people are utilizing your service and everything. Now I'm going to go back. If you click on the name of the party, then it pulls up another view where you can see more information, how many times each individual image has been viewed, and so on. A lot of information there. And then from there, you can also download reports. If you go over to, let's see, the usage statistics, then you can select a specific gallery. Let me go back to that same one. Yeah, it was costume party. Okay, and from here, you can download a report with individual emails and their actual email addresses and phone numbers to use that for export and marketing if you wanted to do that. So you can certainly do that there. Now, to connect Event Gallery to any one of our softwares, all of our softwares, Darkroom Booth, Core, Pro, Assembly, and our Hot Folder app all support Event Gallery uploading directly. So to connect those, you can click on this API tab and you'll see this big long string right here. Now this information here can be used in our software to connect the two. So I'm going to pull up Darkroom Booth and show you how you would do that in Darkroom Booth. So in Global Settings, you simply go into Global Settings and click on your Event Gallery account, and then you just copy and paste that API key right there. So you just open it up in your account, copy it, paste it right there, okay, and they're connected. Once you do that, then you can turn it on in Darkroom Booth in the Output tab. So you would go down here to Post to Event, click right there, and if you the default is to use the name of the event and the date of the event that you have set. If you wanted to use something different, you can just check the box and type in the name differently. You can also check the box and use a different date. So that's what you would do if you were setting up the event, this week to use next week or something. You could also do it that way as long as you have the same exact name and date. you can use multiple photo booths to contribute to the same gallery. So you can use multiple photo booths to have different galleries. So let's say you have 5 photo booths out on a particular evening, and each one of them is doing a different event. So you just put in a different name and a different date for each one of those photo booths, all connected to the same event gallery with that API key. And then they all post to Event Gallery separately to their separate events at the same time. If you wanted to have more than one photo booth at a singular event, so let's say that there's going to be a big crowd and one photo booth would just not be enough to get around everybody, then you could use one event with several photo booths. You just put in the same exact date and event name, and they'll all contribute to the same gallery. Now you can also set a file size. Full size is usually recommended, and then also if you wanted to add a separate border different from the output, you could do that there as well. Now all output from Darkroom Booth would be posted to the event. So let's say you're doing an animation or a video or a photo strip. Whatever that particular event was and whatever that particular session was, that would get posted to Event Gallery. So there could potentially be a mixture of animations, videos, and photo strips all mixed into the same gallery if you wanted to. And that way people can look at those and download those. Now I'm going to switch back over here and show you a couple of more things on the settings side. You can set all of this up in advance. Then once you get to the client side, now the trend, in the last few years has been to provide a static or stationary share center where people do their photo, booth session, but instead of putting their name or their email address or something in the booth itself, they walk away and they go over to another station. In my opinion, that's not the best alternative for a couple of reasons. Number one, it speeds them through the booth, but it just puts them standing in another line. And nobody likes to stand in line. Well, the solution there has always been, we'll add a second station or a third station, but those are costly. You're the one providing that station. You're providing a stand and a tablet of some kind, usually. Could be an iPad, could be a Android tablet or whatever. And you could still do that with Event Gallery. If you wanted to use this as a share station, you could put up your own kiosk and allow people to walk over there. But one of the great things about Event Gallery is the ability for each person to use it on their own device. So if you direct people to a specific gallery, and you can do that with a QR code very easily, where they just, after they do their session and they walk away, they scan a QR code with their phone and it takes them right to that gallery. So they would see this gallery on their phone. So once they get in there, they can scroll through all the pictures, find their picture, and then when they click on it or touch it with their finger, they'll see it fill the screen. And then down here, you see the different options that they can use. They can post it to Facebook. So if you click there, then it pops up a little thing where they can type in and post it right to your Facebook account with your username and password. You can do it to Twitter. You can email. You can copy it, or you can download it directly to your phone. So it makes electronic delivery of whatever method, whatever you're doing, so much easier is to allow it to use this. Now, let's go back to the admin side, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about the settings within a particular event. So remember, this drop down in the top right corner are settings that affect the entire gallery, Event Gallery account. So your billing plan, your email address, and things like that. But if you click here on this settings button, this big red button, then this gives you settings that are specific to this one event. So here's where you would put in your name and your date. If you're doing that with Darkroom Booth and you put it in there, and there's not already an event with the same name and date, Darkroom Booth will create it for you. Down below, you can see if you want to be able to allow them to go to other galleries, you can turn that on and off. This is a really cool option here if you are doing MP4 videos, like if you're doing short little video clips like a 360 booth or something like that, then you can turn this option on and it allows people to see the video, and I'll show you an example of that in just a minute. See the video right there on their screen. Various options you can set how the pictures are sorted. You can create a custom footer, the actual gallery event name, and so on. You can create a watermark, just a lot of different options. If you come down here to share, then you'll see all the various options that people can use to share that image. So they can use Facebook, Twitter, email, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp. You just check the box for what you want to allow. If you want to do SMS sharing, you would use your own Twilio account that you would set up, and that allows them to send it by text message. Also keep in mind that if they're doing this on their phone, they can just simply download it. They don't have to use anything complicated. They just click download. The advantage of that is they're using their bandwidth to do that, their internet, not yours. So, on their phone, they're doing it with their own. So you can just check the box for what you want to allow them to do. Download works the same way. You can set it up to allow them to download all the images or just certain images. And here's where you would set up email. You can put in a text message that you want to be included with the email and so on. And just a lot of different options that go along with that one particular event. So you can tailor how that event works, and every event can be a little differently depending on what you want to offer for that particular event. Okay, now let me go back over here. I'm going to show you a video event just so you can see how the video player and everything works. Here we go. This was Photo Booth Expo 2020 when we did that, and we did a 360 spin booth there using Darkroom Booth. And here we go. They're starting to load in now. So you can see these videos. So people can, when they see it on their phone, they can click on it and then actually play the video right there in their application without downloading it if they don't want to download it. And you can see how the videos are all displayed as a little thumbnail, and then when they choose it, they can play the full video. Okay. Now you can also see the various options here. This Facebook, Twitter, I think that one's WhatsApp, text messaging, all these various options you can turn on or off and allow people to do that within their phone. So what do you use it for? Well, I've already explained just a little bit about how you could use it to, if you had a situation where you want to have a share station or something like that, and that's a great way for digital delivery. One of the other things that I think is a great way to use it is to allow people to see and mark it after the event. So let's say you've got a corporate event and you do it every year, and you can send them a link. Let's say it's a Christmas party, and so you know that they're going to be planning to book another Christmas party in October, November. You send them a link to their gallery and say, hey, just wanted to let you know that here's some, images from your last event. We'd love to help you out with this one. So you can use it for marketing. You can also use it with the, when you do text messaging and email, it gathers that information from the individuals to be able to market to them future. So you've got their email address and their text message. Got a question from Ted. It says, is there a way to upload a boomerang directly to the event gallery? By directly, do you mean from like after the event, you've got it on your computer and you want to upload it? If that's the case, then yes. On this side right here, you would go, this is the admin side, you would just click add images and, choose the event, and then drag and drop it in here, and that would upload it. If you mean from an event, like you're doing an event offering boomerangs, then yes, in Darkroom Booth, any output from the application like boomerangs or GIFs or videos, whatever you're doing, is sent directly to Event Gallery immediately after the session. the Hot Folder app. If you're using something other than a darkroom software that doesn't support Event Gallery directly, then you can use our Hot Folder app to monitor a folder, and anything that got saved to that folder would get uploaded to Event Gallery as well. So that's a great way to do it. Got another question. Are you able to keep them from sharing or charge for a larger digital file or charge for a print? You can keep them from sharing. Yes, you can just let them look at them, because all of these options here, where it shows the photo and the download and sharing options, you can turn all of those off if you wanted to, and that way they could only look at it. They couldn't download it. But there's not a way to charge. Darkroom, their Event Gallery is designed for sharing, so we didn't build a charge system into this. If you want a way for people to look at images and pay for them or sell them later, then I would look at Photo Reflect, which is also a darkroom product that's been around a long time. Photoreflect.com. And that is a system that is built from the ground up to sell images. So photoreflect.com would be an alternative for that. But Event Gallery is made for sharing, so it doesn't have a means to charge people for it. Okay, so if you've had a situation, everybody's had this at least once, where after the event someone says, well, I never got my pictures. A lot of times you can look at the log and see with their email address, and they entered their email address wrong or something like that. That's a lot of times. Sometimes it can be spotty internet. It can be a problem there. So that could be for some reason their image didn't get sent correctly because of internet outage or something. So one of the things you can use the Event Gallery for is, after the event is over, someone says, hey, I didn't get my image. How do you know which one they were? Almost impossible to know. If I'm looking down through these pictures, somebody would have to just describe what they had on or something. But you can actually go to the Event Gallery and just click share right here, and you can put in their email address and send them a link to the gallery, and then they can find their image and download it. So it makes it a great way to share images after the fact. They can go into Event Gallery and find their images. If there was a problem with internet or some other issue that prevented them from getting their image, they typed their address in wrong, is one of the most common, then you can use Event Gallery as a means to share those after the event, and they can go in there and send them to themselves. Anybody got any questions so far? Any other questions? Is anybody currently using Event Gallery? Nobody's using it. Oh, Ted's using it. He says he loves it. Any specific questions about Event Gallery, Ted, since you're the one using it? Anybody else thought about using it, considering it, not sure how you would apply it? It's $30 a month for the subscription. You save $60 if you do a year in advance. But I would use it as a marketing tool, honestly, because the more people that see your work, the more people that are likely to order it. Okay, we got a couple of more questions. Can a photo be directly linked to the photo and not the whole gallery? Yes, if you're using Darkroom Booth and you you allow them to put in their email address or their text message, and you're using Event Gallery, it sends them a link directly to that one image and not the entire gallery. So you can do that. If you are rotating the camera, do you have the ability in the gallery to auto-rotate the images to prevent? Oh, yeah. In fact, let me show you one that's that way. For example, well, this is a good example right here. That you don't have to set anything. It just automatically does it. So if you're doing a photo strip, where it's a vertical image like this, then it just automatically rotates correctly. So you don't have to turn the camera or anything like that. It's just automatically done to prevent taco neck pains. Okay. Anybody else got a question there? So yeah, you can do animations, you can do GIFs. There's just, an enormous number of things that you can do using. In fact, let me show you one that has some GIFs in it. So here you can see a GIF. It's just got the little animation in the thumbnail, and when you click on it, you see it happening right there. And then you can go back to the image and choose a different one. So these are animated boomerangs. And that was a darkroom Christmas party or a imaging spectrum Christmas party. Can gallery be password protected? Yes, absolutely. You can password protect an individual gallery so that the user has to know the password in order to get into it. Let me see if I've got one that's password protected that I can show you. No, I thought I had one with a password on it. No, I guess I don't. But yes, when they select it, it just asks them for the password, and they have to know the password to get in. So yes, you can individually password protect a gallery. Any other questions? And if you're doing multiple sizes, if you notice, for instance, here in this particular, like if you're using the alternate print feature, you can see we've got a mixture of different, session types. So here we got a single photo that's a vertical 4x6, and over here is a square, so you can mix the different ones together. Let's see, another question. If you wanted to show the file name on each image, is that switchable? It does not show them in the thumbnail view because that could get confusing for your customer. But when you click on the individual image, you see the file name up here, right up there. I suppose if you wanted to show the file name on the actual image in Darkroom, you could use a template added, for example, if you created a border that would add the file name and you loaded that here, then it could print the file name on the photo itself if you wanted to do that. Let's see, are you able to keep them from sharing or charge for a larger digital? Oh, I've already read that one, sorry. Watermarking, yes, you can watermark in each individual event. Under settings, there is a setting section here for watermark, and you can turn that on. You can upload a logo if you want. You can do several different ways so that it has a watermark across it, and that way when they download the image is without the watermark, but in viewing they would have the watermark. Can you make the watermark show only on the full size or enlarging showing image? I believe that's the way it does. I'll be honest with you, I have not personally used watermark on any of the events I've done. So that would be something I need to look into and check, but I believe it shows it on the main image when you select it. What's the microsite? The microsite is the small page that only shows the photo. Let's see if I can get to that. When you are in and you choose this is what the microsite looks like. You just don't see the thumbnails behind it. You just see the single image and the share options. So that way, if you just want to send them their image only. And that's how Darkroom Booth does it. If you send like a text or an email from the booth itself with a link, you can direct them right to that one image only with that. Image Gallery is, again, a subscription. It's $30 a month, unlimited number of events. You just get 50 gigabytes to use any way you'd like. You can leave images on there or a particular gallery up as long as you like, and then you can remove it whenever you want to. There is a 30-day free trial before you're charged. So if you want to give it a spin, you can do that for 30 days. Here's another question. You said we could set the title photo. Where does that appear? The title or it's the first photo right here. If you wanted to, for example, let me go back over here. So in the admin side, if you click right here and choose set as cover, then what happens is it allows you to, that's what shows here in the thumbnail section of all your galleries. So you could use that as the bride's, picture or something like that. So you can just choose which one is going to be the cover in the thumbnail section. So set as cover, and then when you look at the entire gallery view, that's the image you would see here in the thumbnails. You can also set the name of each individual gallery. So like right here, I've got Texas School Costume Party. That's something that you can edit. So you just click right there and you type what you want that name to be. Let's see. What about auto expire for galleries? I would like to set an end date and it locks them out. We don't have that feature, I'll be honest with you, but that's a good idea. Maybe we should add that. So what you would do is set a date that after that date, the gallery would just not disappear or go away, but it would lock them out. I suppose you could set it to delete itself. But yeah, that might be a good idea. We'll look into that. As it is now, you would just go back into the admin section and click delete right there in the top right corner, and it would remove the event. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do that. Somebody asked about microsite. On the microsite, you can customize the way the individual photo looks with more detail. You can make the colors and various things different on the page. So you have a lot of control there and put a separate logo. The nice thing about that is if you were doing an event for Coca-Cola or some corporate entity, you could have a special logo just, for them so that their page looks a little more custom to them. You can set, somebody asked about password protecting. Another thing you can do is you can turn this on and put in a password, and that allows someone to download the entire gallery. So for a customer that wants all the images, if that's, if you're doing a special package or something for someone where included in it is maybe a thumbnail or something of all the images or a thumb drive of all the images. Now you could use Event Gallery for that. You just put in a password, tell them what the password is, and then they click on a link and have to put in the password, and then it allows a zip file to be downloaded with all the photos in it. So they just get them all that way, and then you don't have to worry about delivering them on a thumb drive or something. Preview and color effect. Marcus, I'm not sure I understand. Do you mean if you're offering like black and white color, etc., then would the thumbnails be that? If that's the question, yes. Whatever you're offering, whatever your output is from Darker Booth, if it's a black and white or a color or whatever, it's going to be uploaded to Event Gallery exactly that same way. And again, you can use Event Gallery with all of our software products. So whether it's Core Pro, Event Gallery, a Core Pro Booth, or using Hot Folder with other applications. I even have used it in our test account for me to share photos from vacation. When I went on vacation, I would upload my files to Event Gallery and share it with friends so they could see all of our vacation photos. Can you allow them, I get it now, you allow them to change the color in the gallery? No, there's no editing ability with the gallery. It's strictly for sharing. So digital delivery, there's no editing ability where they could select a photo and change it in any way. Although that may be something we could think about. Most people don't want them to change them after they're uploaded, though. That's usually something they want it to stay the way it is. For a custom logo, does it appear on each image, where, or on the site in a designated location? Right up here in the top left corner where it says Darkroom Software, you can change that to your own logo. So that's something that would be, you could change. For example, let me select a different event and you'll see what I'm talking about. This one right here, I think. Oh, yeah. You'll see this one's got the Imaging Spectrum logo. So you can change the logo up in this left corner. or take it off completely if you didn't want a logo on there. All right, we've gone about 45 minutes. We got a few more minutes left. If anybody else has any questions about Event Gallery, or if you want to, if you got a question about Darkroom Booth or something, I'd be happy to answer that as well while we have a few minutes. So as a recap, Darkroom, our Event Gallery application is a sharing site that you can use to share images, output from Darkroom Booth or any other photo booth application with GIFs, videos, whatever output you're offering. And it's a great way for electronic delivery, how to get those images to customers so they can see those. The reporting, I touched on that a little bit, but I'm going to go back and just hit on that a little bit more. If you, if you go in, you can click here and under settings, you can get gallery statistics for each individual gallery. You can see, how many times an particular image, was downloaded. Like this particular image was downloaded X number of times. You can get a lot of information there. Under usage, under gallery statistics, you can, get even more information, and there's a way of downloading all of that in a spreadsheet file as well. You do that in the individual gallery itself. So you can download the information about that gallery and see how many times people downloaded things, but you can also find out, if somebody emailed something or text something, you've got their phone number, you can export as well. Let's see, with Darkroom, is there a way to have the births save in a folder with photos? There's, by burst, you mean the burst videos? Yes, those save in the event. In each individual event, there's a video folder, and all of the burst videos are saved there. So it saves the original video right from the camera without any alteration, and then it saves the altered burst video itself with the same file name. And those are both in the video folder. If you go to our boothmanual.com and you type "where are videos," you'll find an article there. Videos are not included in WrapUp. That's probably something we should add. The question is, does WrapUp download them? They are available there to download easily, but they're not included in the WrapUp section. That's probably something we should add. One of the reasons we haven't is video files are so big and large that it could be, time consuming to download them that way. But yeah, I get it. That would be a good thing to add. Many times the honest truth about applications and software is, sometimes a feature's not in there just simply because we didn't think about it. And just like, for example, the one that Marcus asked about an expiration date so that an event would just auto-delete after so long. Never thought about that. I guess I'm a control freak and I like to control things a little more about when I remove them. But yeah, a lot of times it's just because we haven't thought about, adding that particular feature. So you can always email us with a suggestion and we'll see where we can put that in. Let's for a custom logo. If it was for Pepso or yeah, Dennis, the logo would be in the top left corner, right up here where Darkroom, where it says Darkroom right now. That would be replaced with whatever logo you uploaded. Okay, if nobody has any other questions, I guess we'll call it a day, and we'll have another one of these next week. I'm not even sure. I'd have to look and see what it is, but we'll have another one next Tuesday. These are also all available. This one and past ones will all be available on our YouTube channel if you wanted to go back and look at them or review them. Sometimes when we're in the heat of the moment talking about things, you can, it kind of goes fast, but you can go back there and listen to it and back up and fast forward and, listen to various sections again if you have a question about something. If you want to give Event Gallery a try, the 30-day free trial, you can go to eventgallery.com and set up your own account. You set up your email and password to get into it, and then you can administer that and have access to it. Hey, give it a shot. 30 days. You haven't got anything to lose. If you were to take and just upload some past events and then send a link to the customer and say, hey, just was going through some things and saw your event, thought you might like to relive a fun time, and send them the pictures. You never know. They may just love that. So you can take a look at that and try that out for 30 days and see how that benefits you. If you do have any other questions or anything that we didn't cover here or about software or whatever, you can certainly always call or email support@darkroomsoftware.com. I hope everybody had a great time, and I'm going to switch over here so you can see me again. There we go. Now you can see me again. Hey, so y'all have a great day, and if you have any questions or anything, give us a call or email us at support@darkroomsoftware.com. You can try out Event Gallery by going to eventgallery.com. All right. Thanks, and have a great day.